Have you ever caught yourself thinking that a random comment on the internet hurts more than it should? Or a sleepless night because of an awkward situation that happened several years ago? Have you ever felt everything inside you tighten up from a single strange look at work? If so, you are not alone. And no, you are fine. Today we will talk about why some people feel the world extremely acutely. So much so that emotions touch a raw nerve. And most importantly, I will show you why this trait is not a weakness, but a completely different strength. What you are about to hear may radically change your attitude towards yourself. Let's start with the main thing. When they say that a person takes everything to heart, it's not just about emotionality. It's about the absence of an inner protective layer. It's as if their skin is thinner than others. Imagine, an ordinary person hears a comment at work and thinks, okay, it happens. But a person with heightened sensitivity hears the same thing, and a chain of thoughts starts running through their head. I'm doing something wrong. I'm not appreciated. I'm not good enough. Probably everyone thinks so, they just don't say anything. The difference is noticeable, and here's what's important. This feature does not arise by chance. And now I will tell you something that many people do not even realize. Hypersensitivity is formed at the intersection of three factors. The first is innate temperament. About 15 to 20% of people are born with a more sensitive nervous system. They react more strongly to sounds, smells, and the moods of others. This is not a disease. It is a variant of the norm, just like eye color or height. The second factor is childhood experience. If a child grew up in an environment where they had to constantly read the mood of adults in order to feel safe, this system becomes ingrained. At first, it's a way to survive. Then it becomes part of your personality. And the third factor is traumatic experiences. Even a single episode in which your feelings were devalued or ridiculed can teach you to perceive the world as potentially dangerous. And now, the most paradoxical thing. What society often calls excessive sensitivity may actually be a form of inner strength. People who feel everything deeply usually have exceptional empathy. They are sensitive to others. They understand pain without words. It is to them that people come for support. They become reliable friends and attentive partners. Their inner world is rich, multi-dimensional. Music can bring them to tears. Sunset can make them freeze. Art can make them experience a whole palette of feelings. This is not weakness. This is the depth of experience, inaccessible to many. Moreover, it is precisely such people who often create truly valuable things. They don't know how to do things half-heartedly. They put meaning into it, and soul. Their perfectionism is not about competing with others. It is about inner responsibility for what they create. But there is another side to it, and this is where the real difficulties begin. Constant emotional overload is like living with an alarm that is constantly sounding. The brain reacts to minor issues as if they were threats. A routine request from a colleague can ruin the entire day. A conflict with a loved one feels like a catastrophe. The body does not distinguish between real danger and imagined danger. Tension increases, sleep is disturbed, anxiety appears. Over time, this can lead to depression, panic attacks, psychosomatic symptoms. There is another trap. Dependence on the opinions of others. When you are overly sensitive to the reactions of those around you, life gradually begins to revolve around the desire to please everyone. You put aside your own desires. You erase your boundaries, just so long as you don't cause anyone's dissatisfaction. And at some point, it becomes clear. You have become a hostage to your own sensitivity. But there is a way out, and it is definitely not to become callous. The first step is to accept your sensitivity. Don't fight it. Don't be ashamed of it. It's not a character flaw. It's a feature of your nervous system. Imagine that you have perfect musical pitch. It's a gift. It's just that false notes hurt more. The second step is to learn to distinguish your emotions from those of others. Highly sensitive people easily absorb the moods of others. Ask yourself, is this really mine? Or is it the emotion of your partner, colleague, or environment? The third step is emotional hygiene. Just as you take care of your body every day, you need rituals for your psyche. A journal, silence, walks, creativity, anything that helps you digest the day. And fourth, personal boundaries. It's difficult, especially when it seems that refusal is betrayal. But the truth is simple. Saying no does not mean being selfish. It means taking care of yourself. You can't be available to everyone 24 hours a day and still avoid burnout. It's just not possible. And the fifth step is the most powerful tool of all. People hardly ever talk about it. Learn to communicate with your inner critic. It's especially harsh on sensitive people. When thoughts pop into your head, I ruined everything. I'm not good enough. Everyone judges me. Stop and ask yourself a simple question. What evidence do I have? In most cases, none. These are automatic thoughts born of fear, not real facts. They can be replaced with more sober ones, with realistic ones. I could be wrong, and that's okay. I don't have to be liked by everyone. I'm doing everything I can in this situation. There is another very powerful technique, the position of an outside observer. When emotions overwhelm you, imagine that you are watching the event from the side. What would you say to a loved one who found themselves in the same situation? Usually, we are much gentler with others than we are with ourselves. And one more very important reminder. Not every feeling requires immediate action. Emotions are like waves. They rise, they reach their peak, and they fall. You don't need to act in the midst of an emotional storm. Sometimes it's enough to just wait. Let the wave pass. And now, the key moment that changes everything. It sounds paradoxical, but that's where true freedom lies. The harder you try not to feel, the more intensely you feel. Say to yourself, don't think about a white bear, and it immediately appears in your head. It's the same with emotions. Suppressing them only intensifies them. True strength appears when you allow yourself to feel everything that comes, without judgment. If it hurts, allow yourself to be with that pain. If you are afraid, acknowledge the fear. If you feel hurt, allow yourself to experience the hurt. This does not mean drowning in emotions. It means facing them and allowing them to pass naturally. When you stop fighting your feelings, they lose their power over you. And something amazing happens. You realize that you can handle much more than you thought. That emotions do not destroy you. That you can feel deeply and at the same time remain whole. There are people who have walked this path and completely changed their lives. And here's what they have in common. Those who have learned to live with their sensitivity do a few things differently. They consciously choose their surroundings. Close to them are people who do not devalue feelings, who don't say, "Don't take it to heart," or "You're being too dramatic." They build a lifestyle that respects their nature. If loud parties are exhausting, they don't force themselves to be there all the time. If they need time to recover, they take it without guilt. They use their sensitivity as a compass. If something evokes a strong inner response, it's a signal worth paying attention to. Their intuition, it's not mysticism. It's the ability to notice subtle signals that others miss. And most importantly, They stop trying to change to meet someone else's standards of normality. They realized the world needs their sensitivity, their depth, their ability to see what is hidden and create things that touch hearts. If you recognize yourself in this video, remember, taking everything to heart, it's not a sentence, and it's not a curse. It's a way of life that requires more attention to yourself, more care, and a deeper understanding. You don't need to become someone else. You need to learn to be yourself. Knowing how your system works, what it needs to be balanced, and how to use this feature to your advantage. The world is full of people who feel almost nothing, who pass by the pain, beauty, and depth of life. You are not one of them, and that is your strength. Cherish your sensitivity, protect it, and use it to create a life that truly has meaning for you. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel.